How are you getting on today, folks? How are you all doing? Welcome back to another video from Courtney Brothers. With the old high vis on, we look very official for our big dig job here. So you would have seen from the last video what the crack was here. So this is part 2. Actually, good trickle of water still running there. Just from, as I mentioned in the last video, that's the ESB duct crossing here. This was the old ESB. You can even see my old bit of tape. I had a tape to know. The old power running into this shed was just to tie into the house. But we have a new connection got up there. So this is an empty duct at the moment, but I have a rope through it because I want to pull cable through it just for cameras or even maybe internet or anything like that. But I pulled the rope through it and I pulled the cable out just to use the duct. That was the water pipe that was smashed. 2 fittings on there. If you're using fittings on the Wavin 1/2 inch, it's all heavy gauge now, but use Filmac. They're a great job because I have just bad experience with other types of fittings and they're complicated. They're simple fittings, nothing to them, and they work well. But anyways, what are we at here? I'm just gonna cut that pipe, obviously cut a bit out of it. I'll get the shovel now, clean around it, make a bit of room. But that's what we're gonna do it. This is going to be the main run in here, so I'm going to put that straight through and I'll put that down there like so, kinda like that. Them pipes fit in roughly enough, and I'll put a bit of drainage strips around and put a bit of plastic over maybe just to stop dirt running into. But after the drainage strips itself, we'll see. I probably will put a bit of plastic over just to seal it. And this 90 is for up here. These are me drainage pipes. I had a few of them. They were left over in job as that, so I kept them off your man. They're smooth wall inside, JFC pipe, good heavy pipe, and they are perforated. So that means, perforated means, perforated, and I'm not sure, is that perforated the ribs, or is the holes perforated? I think it is, yeah. Perforated is the holes, I'm 90% sure, correct me if I'm wrong. So that's land drainage. Lets the water seep in. They're a great job, to be fair, the straight lengths, because the smooth wall inside stops it gathering up all the material in that. For the likes of this job here, land drainage might be too bad, but here, where there might be a bit of sediment going out, it would eventually block it up, I'd say. I know I'm contradicting myself a bit, because that's ordinary land drainage pipe down there, but that's what's in the ground. If I was doing it again, I would use all this. So yeah, the joiners and also this slot in, they're very handy. And they hold themselves a bit more level as well, like they hold themselves. So if you use soft land drainage there, you want a nice clean even bed, because otherwise you'd have dips and hollows, and the dips in the sediment is settling it and possibly eventually block it up. I was on about the manhole here, putting a manhole here, but am I taking these way out? Yes. Well, for 2 reasons. Number one is I need to go digging. I have to go down, taking down trees later on today. I need to keep moving, because making a manhole here, I'd probably end up blocking one up and putting a heavy lid in it and that, because putting ordinary like Wavin, like an AJ and risers to the digger, just end up crushing it eventually, the hopper or whatever tracking over it. So I'd need to do a proper lid. I would block it up, make a bit of room in it so I could rod it out again, but and put some sort of a steel lid. But what I'm going to do for now is I'm going to extend this pipe out maybe by a meter or so, put the 90 on, straight down. I'm not sure how these, I know they will work some shape or form, I think. Yeah, they will. They'll actually slot in there lovely. They don't need to be sealed up perfect. Once they slot in, good enough, it's fine, because it is drainage. A bit of water seeping in or out, make no difference. So yeah, I want to clean around here. I want to clean that trench. I might put a shake of drainage strips along it, just make a bit of a bed. I'll run along with the shovel and see how it's looking. Just sometimes it's easier to do that way. And our sump up there, the wash bay, has dried out, or it's gone down to level, so it's great. Yeah, so digger's warming up. I'm going to clean this a bit here, pull the bucket along here, open that up a small bit and make myself a bit of room, and get down there and just dig up any stuff, because a bit of stuff has fallen in since I dug out the water running it. And we'll just put a nice bed, and I'm more than likely to put a shake of drainage chips in it because I have plenty of them there. Now we're in the workshop, as you can see. New tool Monday. Well, I actually bought it a week ago, but it was left in the Jeep. It is a Milwaukee Sawzall. Sawzall. So I suppose it's supposed to saw all. Whatever you have to saw, it'll do it. A tool that I have been threatening to get for about 2 years at least. And I just seen it the other day. I said, yeah, you're coming with me. And today is its first job. And the reason I bought Milwaukee is because, if you may be able to see here, that's what we have, Milwaukee. It's probably the most common to buy around, good stuff, and I stuck with the one. I used to have different brands, and there was nothing wrong with them. I'd buy a drill years ago, and that could be, I had a Ryobi, I had Makita, actually I have 2 batteries there in the charger for Makita drill still. But I just stick with the Milwaukee now because, to be fair, they have some range of stuff and keep the batteries and all that same. And this is not a promotional video either, by the way. I just like Milwaukee stuff. But anyways, why did I want a Sawzall? Mainly to have in the tractor for, I suppose, the rake man. Having the tractor with the rake, because when he's gone in and there's branches sticking out that are pulling mirrors off, catching the rake and everything like that, you can stand out the door, step one hand, reach up, and that's a steel blade, but timber blade as well. There's a timber blade there as well for it, and just snip it down. A lot safer than a fucking chainsaw. Now a little small handheld battery chainsaw too would be a handy gadget, but this will most certainly do me for now, and it's a handy thing around the workshop anyways, because they cut steel, timber, whatever you want. So I'm going to go down here. I have this leveled out. I'm not going to bother putting drainage chips in it. It's leveled out, kind of gravelish. I've knocked a bit of nice gravel underneath it. It's good enough. That's level enough for me. I'm going to put the pipes down and just throw the drainage chips in on top of them, then it will be perfectly good enough. Now, here we are connected up, nice and handy, getting mucky down the trench, but not too bad. Nice to have that done now. Chips in. Also, I think half explained something there earlier. 2 reasons why I wasn't putting a gully or a manhole there. And the second, I mentioned the first one was kind of like time-wise and that. But the second reason was, I'm not concreting this. If I was concreting it, I don't think I've mentioned this already. If I'm going concreting that, now if I was getting ready for concrete, I most definitely would put in the gully, but I'll know where that is. If I am concreting out there again, years to come, I can dig it up, put a gully in, or if there is problems, look, I know where it is. It's only 804. Easy, pull it up again and do it. But anyways, that's that. Get chips in, and it shouldn't be too bad. If you're doing this job with these JFC pipes and them sewer fittings, they do work, but I don't know if you've seen in the time lapse there, but get the grinder and just take a little shaving around the first 2 ribs maybe, because it'll go in so far and then kind of stop up, and my god, you will not get it back out once it passes the seal. Once the seal passes the first rib on the pipe, there is no back. But yeah, that's it, nice and simple. I'm not going to check any faults or anything, because running water will tell you everything you need to know if your fall is right or wrong. So, and that's running away perfect. Yeah, so get chips in here and we shouldn't be too bad. Get our fill in. I have the wettest dirty stuff thrown on the real outside, so I'll shave in along that outside first, and that's the cleanest of everything. That'll be going back on top, and I might fill it with drainage chips maybe here in this spot, and maybe 1 or 2 other spots down along, just to take any surface water that might be running here. Nothing runs off the concrete bar. This, well, actually it does. These 2 bays here from from the shed, that girder, the fall comes this way, the rest goes back the way. So I'll fill it with the top of drainage chips here, and maybe opposite the door of the shed, and maybe down then where the joint is below. I'll fill it to the top of the drainage chips there because it's only low anyways, and I have plenty of them there. So yeah, we'll get at that. Now that's one spot there. I said I'm going to fill it up. To be a bit of runoff there, possibly. Would there? More so in line with the door of the shed. I'm going to fill it up there in one spot at least, where I think the water is running off. One thing about these Volvos, like I'm tracking on broken stone. Let's say the stone that was levelled out in the yard here years ago. And like, geez, on the Hitachi I used to get you get a fair old pounding tracking on it. And it's funny, I was talking to a lad in the shop the other day that's driving a Volvo, and in a quarry, and he said that the nicest, like driving the car across the quarry floor compared to a lot of diggers. They are wicked smooth, whatever it is, I don't know. However they do, is it just in the cab or what? But anyway, they're pretty good. This stuff I dug up is gone mucky now, so I'll see how we get on putting it back down. I might need to get a load 804. It's around here kind of the water runs off. So there's a chance of filling that there. I'm not going to fill it in too many spots because it's using up nice drainage chip and not a whole lot of need for it. Yeah, I'm going to chance that because I don't want too much of that either there, because the forklift will be getting stuck in it. So I'll do them two spots and chance at that and see how we get on. So yeah, the stuff closest to the trench this side and the stuff the far side, in theory, should be the cleanest. So some of that doesn't look too clean now, but anyway, put it down and see. It's going to be fresh enough for a day or two. And it should set pretty good in itself. Like, there's no point throwing away this and buying stuff to put in it. I know if you're doing a job on a site now or along a road, that's what you'll be doing, but that's not the work we're at today here. Starting to get used to the feel of this digger. They do take quite a bit of getting used to now because they're sensitive on the levers, but I think I'm getting the feel of it anyway. I would rev pretty high there now, but yeah, they're nice once you get into them. They're not, the first time you sit into one of these, they'd shock you a bit because they're so sensitive. Gentle movements on the levers is what I've discovered anyway. Yeah, job we're going on after this is 3 shears work, so it's going to be the proper tree. I had the 3 shears on this, doing it, just taking up, moving it, just 1 tree for a fella. But I didn't get a right feel for it, so this evening or tomorrow now should good day's work in this job where I'm going to ask a few fairly big trees. Some of them now are quite big, so I don't know will I be able to manage them at all. There might be a bit of chainsaw work. There's a fella coming with me, or involved in the job, doing that into it, so I won't be doing it. I don't really do any chainsaw work. I haven't anyways at the moment, because kind of when you're at that work, it's kind of a 2-man job, and you need someone who's used to a chainsaw. I'm not particularly used to one, and Aidan wouldn't be either really. We both would have used them, but chainsaw work is an art in itself really, in my opinion. It's not something you just pick up and tear into. They might look like fun, but you need a bit of experience with them and know-how, and I don't really have that. I do a bit of messing here myself, putting up my own timber, but I'm most certainly not a man for going chopping down big trees. Not at the moment anyway. So what I'm doing, yeah, I'm trying to leave that outside, and this left there now is pretty dirty stuff that came from the bottom of it, so I'll try leave that there and concentrate on this cleaner stuff, and I probably will have a load in the dump trailer when I'm done. When this settles down here, and before the Christmas, I might put a load or 2 804 in the yard, because there is digging I want to do here. Well, we'll go through that in another video. It's just kind of opening up the yard a bit more. It won't be anything major, but there's a pile of gravel there beside where I was getting the drainage chips. I want to make a roadway through our own land with that if we get half reasonable weather towards Christmas or that, when we're kind of at home for the holidays, I might try attack that. Now it might be a track dumper job, I'm not sure. That's a feeling, unless we get some serious dry weather or frost, we won't be travelling with the dump trailer in the field, the way conditions are now anyway. I'll leave that. There'll be just a small bit of drainage ships there. As I said, I don't want much because forklift will just get bogged in it. From what I can remember, that is the fall of the water there. That's kind of where it trickles out across the yard. But with this job done, there should be less of that. Probably will sink down a bit now when it dries out. When you put in wet stuff like that, it tends to sink a bit when it settles. Sort through this best I can. That's why I'm not just bulldozing it into the trench. If it was all the same, you could, but just try and pick the best out, as I have mentioned already. So yeah, whatever GoPro mounts and that you think I should get, a magnetic one is definitely on the cards, and I have been on about it for so long. I definitely have been on about it for a year, but I most certainly will be getting one. spot there with a water pipe I want to leave open for a while. Just watch that it's not leaking. I'll leave it just small bit beside it, can be shoveled into it again. It's all pretty clean stuff here. Yeah, we're not going too bad. We'll get that in the dump trailer, I'd say, now in one go. So happy days. The yard is getting back in shape. Yeah, I have a small bit 804 there. I might sprinkle it on it. I don't know if I should do. I might even do it before I finish. Yeah, I'll see. I think I have a bit there behind them buckets. Just I'll put a fresh shake along by the concrete and blend it out, and it'll be fine. It'll be good enough, because yeah, as I said, I do want to do work on the yard again here in towards the Christmas break, or thereabouts, early January. That's kind of when I do my bits around here. Usually this job now, it's just done because it had to be done, because the water was a mess there. Concentrate on keeping the higher side of things going first and foremost, and do our own bits afterwards. It's like any lad that works for himself, his own jobs are always the last, but look, yeah, I do anyways. I always put the contracting work number one, because there could be plenty of quiet times ahead again for doing our own work, and we might be sorry that we didn't put more effort into the work we should have been done. That should have been done, because after all, the bills got to be paid, and tipping around here today and for a week or that is most certainly not going to pay them. Now, so that's the job done for now. I have a bit 804 there, but I'm not going to bother putting it on it. I'll let that settle for a while because it might go down a bit. Plenty good enough for now. Just keep the traffic off it for a while in, just forklift likes that, tractors, because it is a bit spongy, and I'll show you what I mean for those of you who don't know what I mean. See that? But it will set. Take a bit of time and it'll go a bit uneven, and when the digger's back again I'll throw a shake out of 4 on it just to clean it up, because otherwise it'll bring in dirt. When you have a bit of dirty ground like that, bring dirt in and out of the shed. Rather, if you have that bit in front of the shed with 804, you'd be surprised how clean it'll be. And plus the wash bay has really made a great job of that, because this used to be all dirt. All the washing and everything we used to do, dirt used to just make its way out here, and it was a nuisance. So the water going that way underground and dirt staying in there, and clean up the wash bay every now and again should keep it clean. And that is one heavy load of stuff that's on that dump trailer. That sort of grounds here, once it gets wet and that, it gets real heavy. It takes in the water and it takes every drop of it in. But anyways, that's it for today. Anyways, hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and catch up. This is going to be Sunday video, so catch up with us on the Wednesday and see what we're up to then. Thanks for watching. Good luck.